Hi! Are you interested in learning how to engage multiple stakeholders for identifying innovative business models able to finance nature-based solutions for coastal habitat restoration? If your answer is yes, then you are in the right place. In this short video, together with my colleagues from Corila and CMCC, supported by two business innovation experts, we will tell you how we developed business planning skills for decision makers through a co-creation and participatory process. Even though the process has been implemented in the Venice Lagoon, the approach and the resulting business plan can be easily adapted and replicated elsewhere. So, enjoy the video!
In the context of a climate emergency, the progressive degradation of nature, and in particular, vulnerable coastal areas, poses severe risks to the environment, societies, and economies by impacting the provisioning of ecosystem services. For this reason, restoring ecosystems at a large scale is becoming urgent. Nature-based solutions, known as NBS, are measures to protect and sustainably restore ecosystems while addressing societal challenges and simultaneously providing human well-being and biodiversity benefits. Within this context, valuable knowledge was gained through the Horizon 2020 Research Rest Coast in 9 coastal areas across Europe and beyond.
One of the key pilot areas is the Venice Lagoon, a UNESCO heritage site since 1987. The Venice Lagoon is the largest lagoon in Italy and the Mediterranean basin, with a surface of 550 square kilometers and including an important bird area with the highest number of species of conservation interest to be preserved at a national level. The morphology of the lagoon includes a complex mosaic of unique coastal habitats, with salt marshes and mudflats, seagrasses and islands, all of which are deeply intertwined with the lagoon's cultural heritage.
Salt marshes, however, are endangered by environmental and human pressures that threaten their disappearance and the supplying of ecosystem services, including coastal erosion, flood risk reduction, carbon sequestration, water quality, and food provisioning. There is the need for a steady management of the lagoon ecosystems to face the natural and anthropogenic impacts and avoid the degradation and loss of habitats, biodiversity, and ecosystem services. In the last 30 years, the Venice Water Authority, in charge of managing the lagoon intervention, created morphological structures for a total surface of 16 square kilometers and performed restoration works to protect the eroded and degraded salt marshes and mudflats. Restoration interventions are economically costly and are currently sustained by the Lagoon Authority, supported only by national funds. Importantly, they should be monitored, financially maintained, and be spread at a lagoon scale. To favor this process, it is crucial to strengthen business planning skills in order to catalyze financial investors from the public and private sectors into NBS interventions. The Venice Lagoon is important for the daily life of many people involved in a wide variety of activities. Therefore, their involvement and understanding their expectations and needs is a key element for effective restoration interventions. However, there are only 2 institutions empowered to safeguard and make the channels navigable: the Venice Lagoon Authority and the Venice Port Authority. The core team of the study, that has been developed within the Rest Coast project, included 4 research organizations: Corila, the CMCC, the Ca' Foscari University of Venice, and the University of Padova, and 2 business innovation experts. The task force catalyzed almost 40 stakeholders among public and private entities, NGOs, companies, and local organizations with specific interests in safeguarding the lagoon. Most of these stakeholders are the beneficiaries of these restoration works, complemented by tourists and visitors, social entrepreneurs, artists, and cultural organizations, schools, citizens, and local communities.
Once the stakeholder platform was established, the task force developed a framework that bridges an advanced business model canvas with an innovative business plan. The business plan integrates governance, management, business, and financial strategies. The value proposition identifies multifunctional benefits by improving ecosystem services and biodiversities, considering environmental, social, cultural, and economic aspects. The value created upscales the restoration interventions to the degraded salt marshes, including protecting the ridges and feeding them with new sediments. The value capture combines revenue generation with blended finance to sustain the investment. Potential revenue stream identified and assessed through a willingness to pay analysis is ecotourism in the salt marshes, which has a positive impact on the local green and blue economies while fostering restoration awareness. Although the display of restoration effects would take decades, the business plan to attract financial investment considers the potential midterm return in a 5-year temporal frame. Through the Green Deal and the recent Nature Restoration Law, the European Commission provides a great opportunity to implementing and upscaling restoration activities.
For more than 3 years, the task force implemented a strategy to engage the selected stakeholders through dedicated meetings, workshops, and events, also fostering a sense of ownership and support. They were engaged in a participatory planning process for co-designing restoration works in the Venice Lagoon. This process, aimed at capturing their feedbacks and lessons learned, was essential to develop a business plan tailored to their needs and expectations.
There is a pressing need to develop competitive business models for nature restoration, advancing valuation methods with a holistic perspective of the natural and socio-economic systems. These should be supported by effective governance structures, enabling financial mechanisms that integrate revenue generation to compensate for the restoration investments. The approach developed in this study contributed to set up an enabling context that can attract investors and sustain the financing of the upscaling of the restoration interventions in the Venice Lagoon in the near future. The resulting outcomes can be applied to other environmental and socio-economic contexts